was talking to somebody once upon a time, and they mentioned a few things, and it just really made me reflect more. Like I know these things about me, but it made me reflect even more and want to actually bring it up in therapy. I have a lot of anxiety, and I've never called it that in the past. I guess I've only started calling it that probably over the past year. I think it's important that you give a name to things because it helps you deal with it. And so I've recently, called it what it is, anxiety, right? I deal with a lot of anxiety. Like my mind gets hijacked sometimes. Um, and I think about the way I was raised, right? Not the way I was raised, but the environment that I was in. I grew up with divorced parents, and it was not amicable at all. And so I grew up in an environment that was that made me always in a constant state of like awareness, right? A heightened awareness, where, I was always kind of figuring out what I was allowed to say to that parent, or this parent, because I didn't want to cause any drama. I didn't want to cause any problems. I didn't want any chaos going on, right? If I said something to one parent, then I might get in trouble with the other parent, right? And it could be little things. It could be something as simple as telling my mom where my dad's new girlfriend lived, right? Something like little things like that, children should not have to really care about saying out their mouths, you know what I mean? But it could cause a lot of chaos. It could cause a ripple effect. And so, I was always thinking something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go bad. Something bad is going to happen. It was always something around the corner, right? And so I was just at a constant state of like awareness. What's going on? Who's upset? What mood is that person in today? What am I allowed to say to that person? However, I don't know if I was still expected to get good grades and everything, but that was the thing. Like I was a well-behaved child. I wanted to get good grades. And so I still was expected to go and, make honor roll, get good grades, go to a good college, participate in the sports, right? I still did all those things on top of, the hypervigilance. I was still, performing. And today, as an adult, it not much has changed, honestly. Not much has changed. The environment's not the same. And I have more control, obviously, as an adult. But that hypervigilance, that hyper awareness, the trying to foresee, you know, the challenges, trying to foresee the threats, trying to foresee what is lurking around the corner, that still exists. That still exists. And the performance, it still exists. I can still do all of that mental gymnastics and have a business and have this podcast and do this and that and whatever else I decide to do. And so, yeah, as an adult now, I'm hyper vigilant. I'm walking around, I'm going throughout life thinking that there is inevitable danger, emotional danger. And it's exhausting. It is exhausting. And I'm just realizing that this is like a source of my anxiety. This is a source of my overthinking because I'm just always in my head. I'm always thinking about what could go wrong. What could go wrong? Even when I get a good thing, I'm suspicious of it. I'm suspicious. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the rest of it? And so I'm looking for threats, even when they don't exist, right? And honestly, it mostly shows up for me. I would say mostly like where I really notice it, it shows up for me in like romantic relationships, right? I'm always like, something else, something's going on here. It really is exhausting. It shows up for me in other areas of life too. I know with this business, like when we get like, when something good happens, I'm like, is this real? Is this a scam? What's going on? Like I always am looking for what is around the corner, what's hiding, what's trying to trick me, something's trying to fool me. Like what's going on? And it's too much. It's too much. And I am tired of going throughout life like this. Like for real. Like I don't want to do this way anymore. And so yeah, I'm just at a point where I'm like, I'm 30 years old. This has been a cycle that I've noticed in my life throughout my 20s. Man, this is personal. This is a personal one for me. But I know that somebody is, watching this and like, oh, okay, like you're relating to it. I just know it. And that's why I want to share. That's why we share, right? I think that it's exhausting, and it honestly can like distort reality. Not in like a crazy way, you know what I mean? But where it's just like, you don't know, I call it like mental pollution. Like you don't know which way is real. It can be calm, right? And you're like, okay, Kelby, like you're tripping. And then there's times where it just gets intense. And it's hard to see what you're imagining, what is actually happening, what your intuition is saying, what God is saying. All of that is just swirling. I'm trying to visualize it because I'm trying to paint a picture. It's just swirling and you can't see. You can't tell what's real, right? And so, yeah, I'm over it, honestly. I'm actually over it. I think about sometimes how much harm it might be causing me. Like, how much harm is this actually causing in my life? Because if I'm going throughout life with this mindset, with this anxiety, with this weight on me, like, what is really, like, where could I be at right now if I didn't think like this? I want to know her. Like, I want to know who Kelby is without anxiety. Yeah. I want to know who Kelby is when she's not always scanning for threats. I want to know who she is when she just breathes and she's calm, right? And she trusts God. She trusts the universe. She trusts that things are being done for her. She trusts that someone's not trying to, harm her. I want to know what it's like to have good things happen and not be suspicious of them. I want to know what it's like to be in a relationship with someone and not always think that they're hiding something or that they're doing something behind my back. I want to know what it's like to be in a relationship with someone and not be trying to read their facial expressions and their tones. I want to know what it's like to have this business and have good things happen and not, question it, right? Like when good things, you pray for the good things to happen and God gives it to you and you question it and you grow suspicious. I want to know what it's like to not do those things. And so I'm feeling good about it though, because I'm on top of it. I feel it. I'm figuring it out. And I recently started on some anxiety medication. I don't know if I'm going to keep that in here, but maybe I will. And seeing how that's going. And I encourage, you to dig in. If you're experiencing something, these cycles, if you're experiencing a lot of anxiety or just patterns in your life, dig into it a little bit, see where it stems from, see where you want to go, and do you want to take that with you or not? Because you don't have to. That's all, y'all. If you are enjoying the show, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, rate the show if you're on Spotify, and share this with someone who you think can relate, who you think would appreciate this. Go ahead and click that share button, send it their way. Because I know when you're watching this, you're probably thinking about somebody. So go ahead and share it. It'll really help me out.